Good evening, Aaron. Good evening, Vinny. Evening, Pixie. Good evening, YouTube land. I hope we're all good. So, good evening and welcome to episode 59 of Endless Banter. This is the Hall of Vape show. Before we talk about the Hall of Vape,
fuck the Hall of Vape, man. Let me do my thank you. Just crack on. I'll be with you for about now.
If anybody wants to know why Paul's currently distracted, it's because he's currently playing with his K Not So Fun. K Not So Fun tonight for Mr. Harrison with his 2.5 coils. When was the last time you built 2.5 coils?
2019, probably 2012 or 13, I reckon. Maybe 14. But
fucking hell.
Never, ever built a K-Fun in all the time I've vaped.
Really?
I actually had a Typhoon.
The GT?
Which was a bit more airy, weren't it? It was a bit more restricted lungy on the Typhoon.
Yeah. What's Jordan saying this morning? I hope I get my endless dirty. Mod is new 200 left. Is new 200 left? I don't know about that. You'll just have to see what number comes in, mate. Evening, Mr. Clarkson, Mr. Brown. Somebody saying they're ordering a dirty. Tasha, good evening, my dear.
She said good evening.
So, Paul, we're going to distract you for a minute. How's your week been? How's your week been? I've been getting back to work.
20 minutes ago, I started fucking about with this content. Why the fuck does the deck screw out of this?
Because of the airflow control at the bottom of the pin, remember?
Yeah,
remember the plastic bit?
Yeah, I've changed that. I've adjusted that and got that right. Motherfucking thing, this is. People, look, this is the sort of deck I'm trying to build on here. Look at that fucking 2.5 mil, 7 wraps. I ain't used 26 gauge for about fucking 4 or 5 years. What the fuck?
Evening now. Be quiet, please. Team Mummy's on. Sorry, Tash.
Yeah, I was going to go in the kitchen, but then I started fucking about with this. So I said, can you turn the telly down? I got that home.
Well, I told everybody in the YouTube chat that you was building your K-Fun and you might be a while. Because as I said, the K-Fun is the K Not So Fun.
No, I'm on it, man. I'm on it. I'm just going to go. I'm going to go for 9 wraps.
Well, I want to let you know, because you're late, we've got an hour. We've got 2 hours.
What? Mate, as if they haven't done top fill.
It's just old school, innit? Come on, we're getting back in the old school vibe, but now you're wanting to do 2016.
It's a K-Fun like 2019. And actually, all it is it's just 2019 fucking prices.
Which means you got a fucking bargain. If it's 2019 prices, it means you got a bargain.
No, it was €83.
Which, what, about 70 quid? 75? So it's decent. It's decent. Fuck me, K-Fun, when they first dropped, I think they're about 120.
Yeah, I think so. I can't remember what I paid for the. In fact, I got the Typhoon in a trade from some geezer that used to be in the shop.
Was that before you became elitist and bought a genuine one in Germany?
No, I had an authentic Typhoon.
And you always call me fucking elitist.
I was just like advertising the wares in the shop, mate. That's all.
I'll tell everybody the story. When Paul came to see me one time, he was rocking this mod, and I was like, And I'll tell you what mod it was. It was a shock and awe. And I seen this mod last week because Paul was looking in his old box of tricks, and it was a shock and awe. And I said to Paul, in word for word, as if you sell clothes in your shop but you're using authentic. And he goes, "Fuck you, Tom, it's clone." I was like, "Oh, my fucking hands are burning."
I didn't even show you the shock and awe first, mate. I had a brass clone Abel, which I've also got in there. I kept both of them.
But
And you had authentic fucking Abels in Dale's shop, and you didn't believe me that he was a clone. That's how good clones were that AV had made of their
telling
mods.
you.
I'm not, did I just say that out loud?
They were just testing the water before they went there full time. That's what they were doing.
They made money off their clones and they did off the authentics. So legend has it. This is
Fuck.
I need fucking hands the size of fucking Emily.
Ian Anderson said it takes the K fun out of building.
I know Ian Anderson won't be able to build one of these.
He won't be able to keep his hands still fucking long enough.
Nah,
So how's your few days been back at work?
Have
you come down from your Germany high?
1 second, mate. I need to, you know what? The other thing that I've realised since I've started fucking about in Mexican is that my eyes have deteriorated badly in 18 months, mate.
Where's your glasses? Are they in your office?
No, I don't know where they are. They're here somewhere. I found them not long ago.
I'm going to message Tash after the show, telling her to book you an appointment for Specsavers in the morning.
I'm going to take the screw out too far in a minute and drop the screw, and then that's one screw missing. Do you know the motherfuckers don't even put the screws in the deck?
No. That's why I said to you in the hotel that I wasn't going to do it just in case I lost them. It's like, fuck that, am I going to lose them?
Now I've got a fucking earphone falling out and all this fucking... Mate, pass me the 18 gauge and a fucking V2S deck.
Tash said, one thing I've learned is he makes a fucking mess of my living room. She's on for you tonight. You're spoiling her fucking team, mum, and you're making the living room a fucking mess.
How high should I have the coil above the air hole?
Right, let me show. Obviously, I've not got the K-Fun, but it's same principle. So I'm going to just show you mine.
So would I have it at least as high as the screws? So the bottom of the coil's at the top of the screws?
Where are you looking? Looking on Facebook?
I'm on Facebook, yeah. So you want so what? So you need some gap then, any between the fucking
just a little bit of a gap, even just a gnat's fucking dick is there. And look between the air hole and the coil. You don't want it like sitting on, like basically sitting on top of the peak insulator. You just literally just want it just above it. And see, we're still learning shit. After anybody that says we're not still learning shit after fucking nearly 8 fucking years, we're still learning shit.
Mate, I'm learning shit when I have to fuck about with the deck this fucking size. Fuck, man. They're not designed for people with big hands.
Oh, fucking Mr. Mouth to Lung, Mr. Twanker himself just coming to chat on Facebook. Good evening, Mr. Greenwood.
If he starts taking the piss, I'll drive to fucking Leeds, the prick.
Mr. Greenwood, get in your car, mate, and drive down to Birmingham and go build Paul's game.
Yeah, come and build me fucking K-Fun for me, Greenwood. make me something that gives me more fluffy clouds.
What is it? Fluffy flavour clouds? That's it's Bob on. Greenwood says Bob on, and he says fluffy flavour clouds. There is two sayings. If it's shit and Greenwood don't like it, he doesn't say Bob on, but you know he's telling the truth when he says Bob on. I'm telling you, proper Yorkshire. Has Paul got his contacts in yet to fit the KF?
Fucking 26 gauge wire on the deck. This fucking size is ridiculous. Yeah, I heard a proper mad Yorkshire fucking sentence today.
What, you said it or someone said it?
No, I heard it somewhere, and it's 3 words that are exactly the same that make up a sentence. You know what they are?
Go on.
You tell me. 3 words that are the same word, and it actually makes a sentence.
And it's proper. Have I said it before to you?
No, no, because I just said to you, what are you fucking talking like a spastic for?
I don't know. Go on. What was the sentence?
Tin, tin, tin.
What the fuck
Do you
does
know what
that
it
mean?
means? Right, I'll do it in a more Yorkshire accent. Tin, tin, tin.
It isn't in the tin. It isn't in
Yeah.
the tin. isn't in the tin. Yeah.
What the fucking hell is that, you mad cunt? Tin, tin, tin.
Look at that, Big Tom. Don't forget the German words from Stuttgart. We'll talk about Stuttgart and the words I learned and shit like that in a little while. I know them words off by heart now.
I reckon.
I know some right fucking words.
So if it's a bit raised off the air roll, it's going to be a little bit cooler, isn't it? I guess.
Yeah. You see this tank that I've got? Do you know how old school it is? You've even got to wrap your fucking wire around the posts.
And on this motherfucker.
Now that when I was building it, I was like, as if I've got to fucking try trap my wire between the fucking screws.
This is one of them pictures that when you fucking see with fucking Jovan Carvey's macro lens, it looks like a fucking 22 gauge. And when you buy them, you go, how the fucking hell am I supposed to even handle this? It's ridiculously small.
It is proper fucking small. You are right. Evening, Caroline. Good evening, Robert. Good evening, Joe. What's going on, Joe?
Madness. Tin, tin, tin.
Tin, yeah. I knew when you said it in a Yorkshire accent, I was like, I know that one. It's more. No, actually, I'm going to say it's more South Yorkshire, but it's not. It's fucking all of Yorkshire. Is what that is. Tin.
Do you know what I didn't do as well last?
Steve said that coil's too high. Steve said the coil's too high.
What the fuck does he know about mouth to lung?
Fuck off, Greenwood. That's what he was saying. What was it? When
Mate,
UK vape club?
It's, you know what? It's actually it's a gnat's bollock off the air roll, mate.
Telling you.
And it's only a 2.5 mil coil.
2 mil.
You know,
2 mil all day long.
Might be 2 mil, mate. It's not fucking big. I know that much.
Yeah, what was it? UK vape clubs where they used to say fuck. What were it? What did they say? Hashtag fuck off. Steve, put it in chat. They used to tell somebody to fuck off.
Fuck off.
Oh, no, all right. Greenwood, let us know in chat because tonight's going to be fuck off Greenwood. You lads going to be in Spain? We aren't going to be in Spain. No, we're not going to be in Spain. Don't tell Paul that about Spain because we'll be fucking flying out there and all. Paul's on the high at the minute. Paul's on the high at the minute. Paul's going to be high flying, I'm telling you.
Mate,
don't you start with it.
Look at this for naughty ramp up. That's 9.
Have you got an home reader?
Huh?
Got an home reader?
No, I'm pro, mate. You know what? It's 9. That's 9 wraps. That is 9 wraps, 2 mil, not 80, 26 gauge.
Miller, fuck off, Miller.
Fuck off, Miller. That's the one.
Fuck off, Miller. That's too high. What do you run in your normal motor? 1.7? No, you run quite high. Don't you run about 1.2? Don't you in your normal motor?
1.8. But I was running I was running 0.6s in the AO box for a long time, and actually I quite like the ramp up. But this is just for anyone that's watching. I've actually already built this one, so I don't think I used enough cotton, and it was gargling like a fucking Yorkshireman.
Good old fucking K-Fun. Does anybody remember the K Fun being nicknamed K Not So Fun? Because I fucking do.
Mate, we sold
Vape Fest 2015, mate. That's what.
clone K funds by the fucking bucket load.
Did you sell the Russians as well?
I had Russians in, and I didn't know what was the other one. The mad thing, mate. That was it had about 960 pieces to it.
Might be that's the Russian.
No, not the Russian. It was similar to the Russian, but it was called the. It had a funky name, and it was a. I literally never ever. But the Ithaca.
Oh, Ithaca.
Ithaca.
Fucking Greenwood said here, get the top fill cap for it.
They do a top fill cap for it, really? Is that too long, Stephen? Would that be too long when it's in? Because I cut it a little bit shorter than that last time, but I feel like it weren't going to the bottom of them deck. It's got to go to the bottom of that channel there, innit? It's got to go on the inside of that, but down to the bottom.
Yeah. Might be too fluffy though. Try pull a bit of cotton out.
What do you mean it might be too fluffy? Why is it too fluffy?
I think it just looks too fluffy. Steve said it's fine though.
Stephen knows, mate.
Steve said it's fine, then it's all good. It's all gravy. Exactly.
I'm going with Mr. Greenwood.
Fuck
off, Thomas.
Fuck off, Woody. It's all you look his butt there. Thin it out. See, I'm fucking on the ball, me.
Who's saying thin it out?
Greenwood.
No, he knows nothing about wicking, mate.
This is how it used to be. This is how it used to be. Fucking hangouts like this, chatting shit, building shit, learning. This is the way it should be. This should be the banter build episode. We literally should do that. I think one of the next episodes we should literally get a line of fucking RDAs, tanks and shit, and just spend the night building.
I'll be hard to know. You prick, he's going to take me 2 hours.
Listen, and I know you're a bloke because you can't fucking multitask for shit. Because I'm going to try to ask you a question, you tell me to fuck off.
No, go quick, and I'll see if I can.
See if I can answer it.
Yeah, I'll see if I can talk. We could put the same time.
All right. So, how's your week been back at work? And have you come down off the high of Germany?
Week at work's been actually not too bad. I've caught up with everything that I didn't do while I was away. Today I went shopping with my beautiful wife at dinner time. Then I popped to Evolution headquarters and seen Mr. Burr. But he was just about to go into a meeting, so I'm going to meet up with James and take him out for some lunch and just have a catch up because I don't see him very often.
That'll be nice. You know, when you say that and you're saying you're going to meet James and that, I feel like not just people using mechs and the community vibe is being made up. That ain't fucking have to look for shit.
Huh?
That's well fucking low. Have you not got it regulated in the house?
Huh?
Have you not got it regulated in the house?
Yeah, I've got my Zelos next to me.
Get it on a fucking home reader. Get it on the Zelos and read it.
Fuck it, mate. I'm going for it.
You know, when it comes out at Bond build on a fucking mountain lung, mate. It's
listen, 2028. I've put 2 more wraps on what was on the first build.
Telling you, and you know them days of using fucking 10 mil a day. It's long gone, mate. When you start using this K Fun.
That's perfect. That is.
What about the airflow?
I already adjusted it first time around.
Do you know what I'm doing? Do you know what I'm doing?
What are you doing?
I'm listening out for the gargle.
Nah, it is gargling, but I think when I wet the coil, I reckon something straight down the centre.
Evening, Kirk. Evening, Matthew. Evening, Macaulay. Right, so let's get straight into it. Let's get into a bit of banter. Before, what have you had for tea? What have you had for tea?
I had ribs and wedges.
Did you make them or did Tash make them?
Costco made them.
Shout out to Costco. Shout out to Costco. Straight away, Ian Squaw says, Paul, what RTA is that?
Fucking stupid one. I'm going back to this fucker.
Is it too hot?
You know what? It's actually fucking spot on. The only thing is, it's a bit gargly, but I think I might have just dripped some straight down the middle. But like if I vape it for a bit.
Yeah, it should come through.
So if I suck in the air hole, there's no gargling that way. So I feel like it's just around the deck a little bit.
You can't hear it like last time though. It was proper gargling before. But everyone's having a laugh at your expense, so thank you for letting everybody have a laugh. So let's get into Germany.
What's mad straight away is flavour is completely different. And to be fair, I've tried because I've made them for a long time. Let me just change the settings on my. I might already have changed them actually.
You zooming in or zooming out?
I was trying to zoom in, but to zoom in, I have to take it to a lower setting. If I go back to HD, I'm further away, which is just a pain in the bollocks. Yeah, Germany, mate, was just wicked.
Oh, guess what? Guess who's just commented in the chat? Mr. Sam Yates. Sam, I just want to let you know, mate.
Sam,
you wanted
Sam, me and you need to have a fucking talk, you cunt, man. You owe me some bottles of liquid.
You wanted in Germany. All I'm saying is Sam Yates is wanted in fucking Germany. Sam Yates is he's wanted in Germany. Sam Yates is wanted in Germany. Am I wrong, Paul?
I went on about that. Sam Yates collects more rubbish from the shop. And I've had a letter off Birmingham City Council asking me how I dispose of it. So if Sam don't sort me out, I'm going to put him in and make him lose his job.
Well,
it won't be the first time I've done that on social media. Back in the day, I used to have a big page, like a trolling page, and Trevor Woodward. Before I even knew Trevor, it might have even been before the vape shop, or maybe it was just around the time we opened the shop because we used to deliver to Trevor's house before we'd even got the shop. Trevor Woodward posted a picture on his own profile, holding up a card saying, "If I can get 1,000 likes, my missus will suck my cock," or something like that. I shared it on my troll page. It went fucking viral. The gaffers at Jaguar Land Rover seen Trevor's picture that had been taken inside the factory and they sacked the cunt for it. for using a camera in the premises. And I was like, oh man, that weren't my fucking intention.
Oops. Trevor, that was your own fucking fault.
He got his job back though. He had a rest for 18 months, claiming benefits, and then he actually, I mean, no, Trevor is a grafter, to be fair, but I did feel a bit of a cunt because actually I literally done it as a joke, and it like this fucking picture went mad. He might have even got 100,000 likes on it. I can't remember. Trevor will tell you if he's in. But yeah, he messaged me about 2 weeks later. And it's like, oh, they've suspended me because I took that picture inside the factory, and you're not allowed to have cameras inside the factory. And then he messaged me saying, oh, they've dismissed me.
Fuck it. Sam said he's been off work for 2 weeks, so it's not his fault.
Now, all it is, Sam, if you're going to take my rubbish, you need to go inside the shop and take it. We can't leave it outside.
Sam, the hookup is real now, mate. You need to hook it up.
I know what day he collects it, lovely out.
Yeah, Sam.
Have you both?
Sam, if you message Tasha the day before you collect it, we'll put it out for you. So we just so we know. Or whatever. Speak to Tasha, mate, and sort out my rubbish.
Telling everyone we're illegally fucking getting our rubbish picked up.
If anyone from the council's watching this live feed, I'm only joking. I don't even know.
What do you mean? London Council don't come all the way up there, does it? So, Charlie Buller says, "Have you both come down from Germany?" Paul, is there really a come down from what we've just experienced? I don't think there is a come down from what we've just experienced.
No, it's really it's difficult to sort of. I've said to a few people, it seems like it was better than any Birmingham Expo, but I think when I was thinking about it tonight, genuinely, I think it's because the last few of Birmingham's ones have not had that same sort of drive and hype behind them. And the other thing is, no matter, I mean, I was speaking to, who was I speaking to? It might have been Danny. It was either Danny Cush Holloway from, what shops Danny's got?
I'm not sure.
It was either Danny Cush Holloway, it was Brian Harrison when we went out for food. And one of the best expos I've been to was the Manchester one. And actually, the failing of that expo literally was the people, because they just didn't come. But the layout of the show and all that malarkey was fucking spot on. So the thing, certainly with this expo, is when you've got a big amount of people blasting through the door, as we did have, just bear me while I silence the live feed on Facebook.
I just want to mention this before we get into it. Sam said, let's get back to why I'm a wanted man in Germany. When we got into Germany at the airport and we had to give our passports in, there's a wanted poster for people who obviously are wanted, don't know what they're wanted for, but he was your fucking doppelganger, mate, and we saw him on way out as well. And
I've seen loads of doppelgangers, man. I tried to get a picture of a geezer that looked like Loki in 35 years' time. And I mean, literally, could have been Loki's dad. And I can't remember. I was talking to someone who knew Loki, and he was like, "Fucking hell, that was Loki, weren't he?" I was like, "No way." And then I didn't have my phone out, otherwise I literally was going to get a picture. I'm just trying to get fucking comfortable here.
Get yourself comfy now after you took fucking 45 minutes to build your game. Don't take you 45 minutes to build your fucking V2S.
This is bullshit. This live feed, stupid.
Should have been in the kitchen getting yourself prepared. Should have been in the kitchen getting yourself prepared.
I was building this fucking tank. I started it at 25 to 8. And I thought it took me 15 minutes to throw a building there.
Oh, how you was wrong, Mr. Harrison.
Well, I'm set up now.
You set up, you comfy, you got your drink?
I haven't got a drink now. I'm sure my wife will get me a drink in a minute.
She's
doing that out the corner of my eye.
Fuck off.
Fuck off, fuck off, Harrison.
So let's get into a bit of the Hall of Vape. Let's start our journey of us holding hands on the flight. I'm joking.
No, mate, you know the good thing about this German thing is I feel like I've half cured my shit, man, where flying's concerned. I actually really enjoyed the flying back. I don't know if that's just because we weren't sitting together and I was just no, I was just like normally whenever I've flown anywhere, whether it be for a fucking few days or a fucking 2 weeks, I stress about the flight home while I'm away. And actually I didn't even think about it. It was not as bad as I was expecting going out there. Coming back, I took some video out the window and some pictures and stuff. So
I did the same. I did the same. You know me, as I said to you before, I'm shook of flying. And I still got a little bit nervous, don't get me wrong. You saw me holding the fucking chair, the handle on the seat a few times when the fucking plane decided it'd be a great idea to go up and fucking down. But it was actually really good.
If you're going to get me a phone holder, can you get me something decent? This is shit.
Listen, it's better than what you fucking had, so don't give me none of that bollocks.
It's not better than my fucking my tea and coffee jar and my fruit bowl and my kitchen roll holder. Not a chance, mate. I'm trying to just set it up. So right. I'm in a. Oh, what the fuck? This is bullshit. I'll go back down to the arm of the chair then. This is about as professional as one of Vic's fucking reviews. This is. hope he's not watching. He'll start fucking going, that fat bastard from fucking Birmingham. I actually watched Vic's video earlier of Hall of Vape.
I think I don't even think I've watched a few, like start of them, but I've not really watched many of them. You are really close tonight on camera, like literally.
On Facebook.
Yeah, we're getting a full shot tonight. So let's talk about pros and cons.
Pros and cons of what? Germany?
Of the Hall of Vape. Yeah, let's talk about pros and cons.
Mate, you know what? My only con of the whole of the show was that the music in that fucking in the one hall was ridiculous.
But we experienced that music the whole way.
No, not on that level.
But also, if you think about who was playing the music, it was UK companies.
No, not all of them weren't.
The loudest one when you walk through the door was a UK company.
The latest one I heard was that distro stand that V-Juice was on. They were they were literally just behind Dale's stand. So when I was spending time at Dale's stand, it was shocking.
Do you feel like the music played more of a part because they had in the second hall it was quiet?
No, I feel like when you've got that many vendors in one place, there should be a restriction on music.
Yeah.
In any expo, because the reality is there's a main stage there somewhere that's playing music as well. So, and I spoke to Jeff from previous life, Jeff Cutwood, who's now Jeff Fresh Pressed, and he says that like the three stands around him all had fucking speakers and all had different music, and he couldn't hear himself fucking think. But they also had that on B2B Day on Friday.
Well, they did have it a little bit turned down, didn't they, on the Friday when we were there? They had it a little bit turned down.
Saturday, but it was still louder than what we'd have in Birmingham on a B2B Day.
Do you feel like it would ruin the atmosphere if there was no music? Well, I'm going to say that.
I'm not saying no music. I'm just saying the music was way too loud for me personally. So that says I'm fucking 43. Maybe all the young kids were loving life. I don't know.
Yeah, but the thing is, then you say that statement, and then I think of the whole. So before everybody that who didn't go, there was a Hall 9, which was like hardware, modders gallery. That was the Hall 9, and Hall 10 was all your big company, juice companies and stuff like that, and had a little bit of hardware in there. Hall 9, because there was a stage in there where they had talks, had no music whatsoever, not a fucking bean of music. And room 10 had loud music, extremely loud at times. And I feel that I enjoyed room 9 a lot better because you could actually conversate, you could hear what somebody was fucking saying, you didn't walk around and your head wasn't banging afterwards. I feel, if I'm honest, if both halls were quiet, it'd have been even fucking better. And I like loud music. It just seems so much more professional to me when it's not boom, boom, boom. And I get that it gets people G'd up and it's a bit of fun and everybody likes listening to music, but that kind of show, it just showed how busy was it outside all the time. There was no music outside. Do you know what I mean?
No, mate. I mean the show was for me. Being absolutely honest, there's things that Birmingham could learn from that show.
Was there loads of vape girls like at the UK show?
You know what? There weren't as much cellulite in leggings.
It was more, I'd say there were, but it was more classy. Not like they were in suits and stuff, but the one like arse out and that.
No, there weren't no proper like. Well, I didn't see any. Saying that said, for the last two expos, I think Birmingham's calmed down. That 2017 when it was sort of on its fucking way to its peak, you seem like the dregs of society out there to be promo girls.
Matthew Weston, I don't mind music at the stand as long as you can talk to those at the stand. Yeah, I get that. It just when it opened my eyes to go into a hall which is full of what you want to look at, and there's no music. That didn't stop the atmosphere in there one tiny bit. The atmosphere was still amazing.
I'm just showing Ollie is Ollie watching on Facebook, isn't it?
Yeah, is you. I like strippers. Well, there was a pole. I did see a pole. I did see some girls dancing on a pole, but there wasn't like naked or semi-naked like there were in Birmingham when there was a pole. I know that.
I think perfect's probably the wrong word, mate. I'm hoping that's just Thomas. It was a fantastic show, and I enjoyed it to the point that I've even messaged Ira just to say congratulations and well done. And it was fantastic. It was a really good show, but then I still think when you've got that amount of people there, it just adds to the complete ambience of that event. There's mech modding in Germany is much bigger than what it is in the UK, and probably where we was sort of arse end of 2017, or sort of certainly all the way through 2017. See,
Yeah.
well, the arse end of 2016, 17, that 18-month period was ridiculous. And one of the things that I always said to Chris and Ollie when they come and see me at the expo in May was just the fact that you haven't got this fucking 9-foot layer of vape hanging from the ceiling working its way down. It just adds to the ambience of that whole event. And I was trying to say to people while I was there that when we walked around the corner on Saturday and they reckon there was 5,000, 6,000 people in that holding area, the atmosphere outside was literally electrifying to the point where when they were shouting Hall of Vape, that was a really bad fucking Arnold Schwarzenegger stroke German accent that was. But and then when they all blew the cloud and that, it was like overwhelming to the point of becoming emotional. Not that I'm going to stand there and cry blowing clouds, but it was just like a bit like mind blowing.
Like a lump in your throat and
It
that.
was just mad. It was just like a goosebump moment. It was fucking weird.
Because we literally got off the shuttle bus and then all of a sudden we walked in, because we were walking round to get in, and we walked through and all of a sudden we just said, Eins, zwei, drei, cloud. And then there's fucking like literally 5,000 people went, poof. And we were just in the middle of this fucking fog. And now we're like, shit, we're causing fucking global warming over here. Like literally the cloud was big enough to change the fucking atmosphere of the weather.
Is Ollie Deeks or Mr. Greenwoodson?
I think both of them.
So like, if like I've got my air hole on the side there, and if I suck through that air hole, it's smooth as fuck. It's not pulling any liquid out. But if I take a drag, it's gargly. What's all that about?
Give it a few pulls, like
I'm trying to, mate. It's a bit fucking warm.
That's your problem. You're thinning out your e-liquid even more by the sounds of it.
I reckon I need to go up to a 3 mil coil, man.
You ain't fitting no fucking 3 mil in there.
Ah, shut up. You get a 3 mil in there, mate.
You ain't fitting no 3 mil in there.
I will get a 3 mil. There's definitely enough room in the chimneys to put a 3 mil coil, definitely. But what I was thinking was, until I get the coils off Ollie Deeks, if I go 3 mil, it'll just drop my resistance a bit. If Ollie's in, I think it's a 2 or a 2.5 mil, 26 gauge, 980, 9 wrap. So I'm thinking that can't come out much lower than fucking 1
I'm just loving that you're on a live feed asking build questions. It's like all days, man.
Do you think Birmingham Expo will benefit from having a proper modders gallery instead of crappy little bit they have had in the past? Never went to last expo, so liquid inside the chimney. So does that mean it's wicking too fast, Ola? If I've got liquid inside the chimney,
You've got me fucking faffing now.
now you know what? To be fair, I think I might need to open the airflow just a touch actually, because if it's too restricted and I haven't wicked it quite right and I'm giving it a good old fucking suck, I might be sucking too much juice through for what's getting burned.
I'm gonna show you something that I found as well. We're looking on Facebook.
Am I looking up? Have you sent me something on Facebook?
No, I'm gonna show you something in my hand.
Oh. Give me what. In fact, yeah, go on, show me.
Are you looking on Facebook or are you looking on?
Yeah. I'm looking on. What's that? What is it?
That's a mech, a 14500 mech.
Oh, 14,500.
14500 mech. I got this off the good old Todd reviews, Mr. Mark Todd, about 4 years ago, maybe longer, probably about 5 actually. And I found it the other day, and I was like, as fucking if.
I've got some. Oh no, I've got 16. I've got some 16 340 batteries.
16.
I've got some 16 340 batteries that I used to have. Well, I had them for my original billet box.
14500 is the same as an AA. Exactly the same as an AA. I think this is either, I want to say it's either 12 or 14 mil.
I reckon it's 16 mil.
You think it's 16 mil?
Yeah.
It's fucking tiny is what it is. I can't even remember what I run on it, but I definitely ran something with fucking silica on it.
What make is that?
What make is the mod?
Yeah.
It's JP. I think it's JP, and it's the mod's called the Pisces. They did an 18650, but this one's obviously the 14500. But they when I searched it yesterday, they still go for fucking like 120 quid.
Yeah, Tasha needs to find my 18350 Emma. It looks sick of this because I reckon the tank with the drip tip is not that much bigger than the mod.
That's what I'm saying. That's like I said to you. Even the 350 Emmy.
Yeah.
Yeah, the 350 Emmy will look sick with that tank on.
Greetings,
so what else did
you? Greetings, Mr. Thomas Schwartz. You know what? I've opened the airflow on this and actually it's loads better. I feel like maybe it was too tight and I'm sucking too much juice through.
Yeah, because I can hear it's getting better. So let's get back to a bit of Germany then. You know, when you were saying about the Modders Gallery,
yeah,
you think feel like the UK would be to do a bigger Modders Gallery would work well in Expo?
You know what? Yes and no. It's like there's a lot of them companies that were there that are specific to like that part of Europe, and it's whether they travel to Birmingham and fill the fucking thing.
Yeah.
But there's lots of stuff there that's not. I wouldn't say it's not available in the UK, but it's not common product in the UK because it's just European modders that go out there to show their wares off. But let's say for me, ultimately, it comes round back to this circle that the amount of numbers going through that door ultimately add to the overall experience of the event. It has to, because then the events cover it. It's sort of the more people you see, 2.5, 9 wrap, 980 should come out at 0.1. See that, mate? And I've got maybe 2 or 2.5 in there. 9 wrap, 980. I had to strip a triple fuse Clapton.
I stripped a Clapton to get my fucking 26 gauge. Yeah, no, because I feel like it was old school. The not just the vibe, but the expo was old school. As in, like you said about Manchester. Manchester was a banging show. It was just the people who didn't turn up made it what it was.
Yeah. And it's always the risk, mate. It's like, I mean, Vic said there was about 60 vendors in the Modders Gallery. I think there was more than that, personally. I reckon there was 80 in there. I reckon there was 20 and 20 opposite each other and 20 and 20 the other end, maybe just slightly less. But at least there was at least 60 mod vendors in the Modders Gallery that was doing anything. That HDNE was there, Vapors Cloud was there, AV was there, Complife was there, Frankenskool was there. But then there was lots of people that just make stab wood boxes and just make really fun. I can't even remember what the name of this mod is that I've bought. The Smuggler. And but that mod it was 80 euro show price. I think it's 110 euro not at the show. I paid 83 euro for the K Fun Light. So it's probably, I don't know, 160 quid or something like that for that setup. But I've never ever had a nice mouth to lung setup apart from regulated devices, because I've never been able to get a decent build, if I'm being honest, on a
matter
RTA.
low.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just because I use menthol based liquids, they've always been too harsh.
Did you feel like it opened your eyes to certain things in Germany, as in how they vape and stuff like that, and how they spend?
No, mate. People used to spend fucking big money at any expo, and I just think it's not so much open my eyes to Germany. It's open my eyes up to how badly the scene in the UK has gone. As from a community, I mean, to me, that expo there, it was like an old school expo here, where lots and lots and lots of people are going just to go. Not everyone walking around Germany was spending money, and the other thing is, then you've got, like, you seem to have a mad. I suppose it's the same in the UK. I feel like the high end scene in Germany is much bigger than the UK, even when the UK was at its peak. Because people were like some of that stuff that Pascal had. He's talking about fucking €450 for a mod, and it's like nothing. And
yeah, but one of the things that opened my eyes massively was how it used to be back in the day. So how it used to be back in the day for me personally is everyone supported everybody, and that's what I learned over the weekend. Everybody in Germany has at least something made, either from Europe or Germany.
yeah.
Whether it's designed in Germany or made in Germany, they very much supported their own. And I feel like that's the scene in the UK lost that, where you supported your own.
Mr. Gavin Blake, he's back from washing his hair.
Cheers for joining us, Gav. Really appreciate you, mate. And he reviewed the Dirty before, so appreciate you reviewing the Dirty.
I know I haven't even watched it because I was trying to build this fucking tank before the show.
What do you want to drink?
Can of pop, please, but or a glass of lemonade or something like that. Just something cold, please.
Tin.
That's the organisers of Expo should do as Era does and travel to other shows. Now, to be fair to Jay and Lee, they travel the world, mate. They've been to. I mean, they were there. They were at Germany. They're sort of that they had partnership badges on because I know they work very, very closely with Aura to backwards and forwards vendors to each other's show, make sure the dates don't cross like it did a couple of years ago.
It had the vibe of the UK, didn't it, Paul? Like the show how it was set up was very UK. Because I could say we got the way it's set up from America, from the Yanks that came over. Because they obviously saw American shows, then it became bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And obviously in Germany, that's the sort of way they're taking it. The only thing that I don't want to see in Germany is team free shit, because currently it doesn't fucking exist.
Now, it does exist, because on Sunday when I was walking around, mate, stands were throwing it out and they were cheering. I could hear cheering. In fact, I come back over to you, didn't I? And said, I'd be for a piece. Well, actually, I bet there was only 30 people at that stand, but where we was on my e-liquid stand, it sounded like there was 200, 300 people.
But it's a different vibe, though, innit, for free shit. As in, I feel that where as a vendor, vendors are setting that precedent in Germany. The Germans aren't doing that. It's the presidents of the companies.
One thing that was apparent in that show is that vendors weren't dishing out free shit actually until gone 2 o'clock on the Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, because they didn't want to take it fucking home with them.
I was on Dale's stand on Saturday, so that's when you've got the biggest crowd in there, and they reckon 22,000 people or something went through the doors on Saturday. There was a huge stand opposite Dale that run pretty much the whole length of that one side, and they took something like €50,000 worth of free stuff to give away. And literally, they were handing it out to people, and they were just saying, no, thank you, no, thank you, no, thank you, no, thank you. And then the other thing is, the actual clientele in there seemed much more accommodating to try liquids, and if they tried it and they liked it, they bought it. They weren't asking for fucking what's a deal, what's this, what's that. How's Faz? Faz is a legend, mate. Me and Faz are good friends, and we've supported him in lots of ways over the last 7 years, and he's supported us in lots of ways over the last 7 years. So, but Faz is just a genuinely nice man.
He is a fucking legend, is that man? Absolute legend. No, I think there's definitely lots of things can be taken from Germany and put in place with us. But once again, as we always say, it's the consumer. If the consumer doesn't play to the rules, then it doesn't seem to work. If you get what I mean.
It's just you've got to have some real confidence in an event to bother your ass to go. And for whatever reason, that one on Saturday, people clearly bothered to go because the crowd was ridiculous. I mean, and that event was big. I don't know square footage whether it's bigger than the October one at Birmingham when they have it over 3 halls. I'm not sure, but it was certainly a big, well laid out event. And the thing for me is, we left there at about 10 past 6 on Saturday, and it was still busy.
Yeah.
But it was literally busy from the very first thing in the morning till 6 o'clock on the night.
If you could take anything from that show and put it into the expo, what would you take from it? If you could say, this is what we need to do in the UK, not necessarily as vendors, but as the community and everything, just the whole event, what would you pick and place over here? Because there's a fair few things in my eyes.
There's a few things that actually don't necessarily work for Endless as a company when we're there, but I don't like VIP on a Friday. For me, every vendor in that place, whether you've spent £2,000 to be there, or some of them are spending upwards of £200,000 to be there, they're all there to do some sort of business.
Yeah.
And as much as for me personally, it's humbling that people get that VIP ticket and the first thing they come to is to buy what we're selling. Quite honestly, they could do that on the Saturday morning, or they could open on Friday at 10 o'clock to vendors only, and VIP can come in at 1 o'clock.
Yeah.
But then Brian Harrison, I remember, we went out for food every night with Maxim and Joe and the other Brian and the TYV lads. But on Saturday night, we had Vinny, we had Kent, Mr. Twisted Messes, we had the Vaping Bogan with us. And then on Sunday, we all went out again, and Brian and Macca from Evolution, we went. Did we go there in the same taxi as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. We went in the taxi. We come back in the taxi. When we got back to the hotel, me and Brian were talking, and one of the things that Brian said that makes fucking massive sense is to actually have B2B day on the Sunday.
Yeah.
Because again, as a vendor, I would rather give massively reduced stock to a shop to show them some support and let them try and push our product than I would to some of the retail people that are literally hanging about for free. I mean, we don't give away free and cheap stuff on a Sunday. We've got to drive it 6 miles back down to the shop. It's not the end of the world for us. Then I was thinking, there's Sunday for us at Expo's always been a decent day because you've got people that can't come Friday because they're at work, and they can't come Saturday because they're at work. Business to business on a Sunday is pretty good because some people have got to work their shop on Saturday and they manage to get cover on the Sunday, or they just decide to shut it for the Sunday. Would it work better if you can Friday off completely, done 9 a.m. till 9 p.m. on Saturday, and then done business to business on? So just have one day for the fucking people. And then there's people that are working till 5 o'clock that would come to that event and get there for 6 and do 3 hours there till 9 o'clock. And it's a long day for us, and we know how long them days are, whatever happens. But I'm thinking more from a void point of view. The thing I like about Manchester was that you got all these different things going on. Now, for me, I wouldn't go to Manchester 2 or 3 times a year, but if they'd done Manchester again in that guise, definitely I'd go. I'm not suggesting Jay and Lee turn Birmingham into a Manchester show, but there's only so many times you can walk around an expo.
Yeah.
And people get the VIP ticket for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And I'm not just saying this because it's us. Our customers are probably best suited to do that because they can come and chill on the stand and we interact with. There's lots of companies there where if you're going for a certain mod, you don't know the person who makes the mod. You might know them off social media, but you'll go there, you'll buy your product, you're done, you're happy, you've got your shit. You ain't going to stand and chill there for the next 3 hours.
No, exactly. Yeah.
But we've had people chilling at our stand from the Friday till the Sunday on and off in between and going around on their walks and stuff like that. But I don't know. I mean, I don't know whether they need to change Expo. I don't know whether 2 expos in the UK is needed.
Yeah, I saw you mentioning that, and a lot of people
Mate,
were like,
I mean,
once a year. And
the
a big
reality is, up until now, and I'm touching wood, we've had 6, 7, 2016, 2000. So that was our 7th expo we've just done, and we've had 7 successful expos. So we've come away there with more money than we spent. The launch of the products has always been good. The business side of it's always been good. So on that basis, I'd still attend 2 events there. And quite honestly, if Germany and Birmingham fell on the same weekend, me and you would have to decide who's going to Germany, who's going to Birmingham, because I wouldn't miss the Hall of Vape. So as a UK vendor that's only done UK shows, 100% next year we will go to the Hall of Vape as a vendor, whether that be in the Modders Gallery, whether that be on our own stand, I don't know, but we'll definitely be there. We've got the opportunity to go to Berlin the week after next. Hall of Vape's just announced Hamburg in November. We've obviously got Expo in October. For our size company and what we do, I believe we have to chase the market. And we haven't got the luxury of a massive marketing team. We haven't got the luxury of 60 staff. It's just us. It's the people that people see. It's me, Tasha, and you, and the shop staff that do everything that we do. That's the extent of our team. So if we have to chase the market by going to a few European expos in a year, then I'm prepared to do that. If we have to go to the Chinese one, I'm prepared to try it if that's what we need to do. If the markets are big all over the place.
You feel like we've restricted ourselves with just sticking with the UK?
100% we have, yeah. But I mean, it was like I don't know. I wouldn't say that we were making that much money that it didn't matter. I was just content with what the business. I think in reality, Tom, from when I first decided to even make our own mod,
yeah,
within 18 months of me even having that as a thought in my mind, 18 months later, certainly at one point we would have been the biggest supplier of Met mods as far as any UK company was concerned, and probably bigger than. In fact, I would. I mean, I don't know exactly. James might disagree, but I'd say more than Vapors Cloud at one point. That said, Vapors Cloud had other things going on because they're fighting the US shit that was going on and everything else. They've now got a UK leg of Vapors Cloud. And without a doubt, Vapors Cloud is smashing it. Maxi's smashing it from Deathwish mods. But certainly at one point in that journey, we were the biggest UK Met company. And for me, that still blew my head. So I didn't feel the need to go out chasing it any further and doing anything because it already surpassed anything I ever thought we'd do anyway. So.
Yeah. Like on a real, it was like I can imagine you saying I didn't expect it to be this big.
No, you know yourself, mate. When we first launched that first mod, I literally had next to nothing in that price for even to offer a wholesale price because I never ever expected to be in a position where we're manufacturing several thousand mods in one shot. And by the time they've got into the UK, we're having to place orders again with China. And it's from sort of placing the order to coming normally is somewhere between 4 and 6 weeks. And that's if they know what they're making. We actually produce the dirt here from start to finish and had it in the UK in 6 weeks from actually sending them the very first drawing to when it come in as a finished product. And in that time, we'd had proto sent over to us. And that was obviously, I'd had my accidents and stuff like that, so I was behind in even starting that whole project of getting something ready for the launch in May. And certainly by next week, I've got to start deciding what products we're launching. The Pandemonium's on the cards. There's a 26mm version of the Dirty, which will be the cleanest. And I'm working on a side fire mod. We've got the whole range of Asylum. Decide what we're doing. That do we actually launch the Crater as a thing that never made it to market? Do we concentrate on the mouth to lung tank? Do we look at just going straight back to Sherman? Personally, for me, I prefer the Hilo than I do the Sherman. So I've spoke to our manufacturer today about making some additional parts for the Dirty to start off with that will take a 30mm hybrid, for argument's sake, and a 28mm hybrid that still screws into the 30. You can still use 26650 and all the different batteries, but you'd be able to put a Sherman on there and have a flush fit Sherman on the hybrid. As far as the manufacturers of the Sherman, the Asylum products, I'm 90% sure I'll stick with their manufacturers. But again, that comes down to cost and quantity. We've always been in a lucky position where we can run fairly low minimum order quantities, and we pay for that. It costs me more pounds per product to do that. But I wouldn't jump feet first into 1,000 Shermans, not at all. So. And I'm negotiating with them at the moment. I'm talking to 3 different manufacturers for Asylum products and seeing what their MOQs are, and if we drop it down, how does that show in the price, etc., etc. So there's a lot that we can do this year, and if we can get to the point where we're relaunching Asylum products in October, and then we take that to Hamburg in November, then we've got Expo again in May, we've got Hall of Vape in June. Next year, there's obviously Madrid this weekend coming up. Now, quite honestly, if next year it falls where we're doing Hall of Vape, Madrid, Berlin, 3 weekends back to back, or whatever way it falls, then we'll do that. And if it means, I mean, the reality is, it's going to put pressure on our team. You being the team, Dave being the team, the staff in the shop being the team. I ain't going to spend 3 weeks away from home, because quite honestly, I hated spending 3 nights away from home. But I can certainly fly out there and do what I've got to do, and I can fly back and then fly back out to the next weekend and do what I've got to do. And if that's how it is, that's how it is. But that says, I don't know what this market's bringing over the next 12 months, because it's changed so much in the last 12, and certainly the 12 months before that, it changed significantly. So just have to play it by ear, mate. And
exactly. I think that's it. I think this weekend has definitely opened our eyes to the different opportunities, 100%. And it's not just the opportunities for us as a business, it's also opportunities for us to see different ways of business, of how, because I'll be honest, Germany opened my eyes to a lot of things, like even just down to the way that the consumer works, we're there down to how business works, how the community is, a lot of things. I was like, fucking hell, as if it's like that over here. Because let's be honest, we all assume that the UK is the be all and end all, and this is no disrespect to anybody, but there's plenty of scenes around the world that's currently kicking off right now, and we haven't been able to see them in the last 3 years, and it's crazy to think that.
I don't know why the fuck I started eating that while I'm talking. You know what? I think if you use hindsight, is a wonderful thing, and I think anyone that was involved, and we were lucky that we were involved in manufacturing, wholesaling, Evolution distroed it for a period of time, with retailing, and to be involved from the start to the finish, we were riding the crest of a wave at every level that we could. And that weren't just us. There's lots of people in this industry in the UK that are involved from manufacturer right the way through to retail. And I think it's easy at that time to sort of think that the UK was the be all and end all because it was such a buoyant market.
Yeah.
And actually, is Germany more than what the UK ever was? Probably not really.
More people,
but it's a much bigger country. There's more people.
Yeah.
The more people it adds to that vibe. But I mean, Germany still might not have peaked. I don't know. I've spoken to the likes of Ben Solana, and whatever. He always tells me off for saying his name wrong. Little Ben from Six Licks. There you go. That'll cover that one. I mean, Ben said to me for years, like, even when our market started to go from a price point of view on the retail side of things, that the price in Germany's always remained buoyant. However, one thing that was apparent is you've got the massive swing from the people that are vaping on a bread line and people that are vaping whatever the fuck they want and buying whatever the fuck they want. And the market caters for that whole wave.
Oh. And then you get Endless and we're down the fucking middle. We cater for fucking everybody.
Oh, well, we don't cater for everyone, to be fair. And I say it's because we're not selling £500 mods. And in reality, you can buy some Chinese authentics now for £35, and we don't sell a £35 mod. So we're just somewhere. I mean, and really, even if you look at Vapors Cloud, they're sort of a step up from us, from their sort of price points, a step up from ours, and then Rick's a step up from them, and Death Wish is a step up from them, and then you've got sort of Death Wish, and then you've got Rig, and then you've got the Complomps and the AVs of this world, and HDNE, which are sort of they are high end mechanical devices that dictate more money. So we've got the steps in place across all the different companies that are manufacturing. I honestly think that all of us just took our eye off the ball a bit and just accepted that the market had changed. And for me, the Mod Wars Worldwide group has proved that there's still a lot of people that enjoy that community side of things. They enjoy building, they enjoy blowing clouds. As much as this tank's fucked me off tonight, actually, I enjoy the fact that I watched a YouTube video on how to fucking build this cunt tonight. I've never ever, genuinely, honest to God, I've never watched a YouTube video about how to do anything to do with vaping. I've never once watched a review to see whether I should or shouldn't buy a product. Like people say to me, even Vinny said to me, "Have you watched any of my videos?" And I was like, the only review videos I've ever watched is when someone's reviewed my product, and that's really just to see whether there's something we need to change on it, or whether they're happy with it, or if they've got problems that I hadn't seen in it, or whatever. So,
yeah, there's definitely been that little bit of a kick up the arse, because I feel like with Mod Wars Worldwide, it's hitting a section of people, and I feel like that section, like I was speaking to Adam Pickering today, and he was in the shop earlier, and he phoned me. I was in the shop, and he was like, "Mate, since I've joined Mod Wars Worldwide, I've bought 6 mechs. This is like my first seeing of mechs. I've now been watching videos, speaking to people, getting advice, buying tubes." And he's not like a fresh to the market, but he's a new face. And I sit there and I speak to him, and I think you're now us, as in you now have the education then to pass it on to somebody else, because you're fresh minded, you're excited about it the way we was, and now we're obviously getting that excitement back. That he's the new generation that needs to get this not just him personally, but he's the new generation to say to somebody who's not been vaping, well, this is where you're going to progress to, this is what you need to do, this is how you do it. They become then not the new guinea pig, they become like the new teacher of it, if you know what I mean. And then for the new faces to be able to turn the industry around, because that's what it's going to. I feel like the Mod Wars Worldwide has enough energy and enough vibes to change everybody's opinions and stuff around, and the excitement around. You know, it only starts with one person.
One thing that I think that group can do is actually allow a new breed of life into the industry, because no matter how passionate I am, and as passionate as I've genuinely felt for the last 4 weeks or so doing what I'm doing and building the mechs and using the mechs, it's still not the same as what it felt like 4 years ago and going through that journey. I still enjoy using it. Just I don't it's just like I got back here Monday, I was fucking knackered, and genuinely I was sitting there thinking I'm fucking knackered. I hadn't seen Tasha since Thursday, I hadn't seen the kids, and 4 years ago, mate, I'd took that stuff out of my suitcase and built it on Monday night. And actually I've done it on Tuesday night after I got back in from work, and I didn't take a mech out to work with me on Monday, but I genuinely forgot actually, because I wanted to pick one up just to fall back to everyone that kept the group active while we were away. But then when I built that the other day, actually, I enjoyed building the Asgard. I took that 18 gauge build out of it today at work, and I put a 990 fuse Clapton build in there, which is not as fucking rowdy and a bit more vaporable. So I still genuinely feel that sort of need. Even tonight, I was like, I know that Ollie's posted me some calls out. I should get them tomorrow, and I was like, I'll build that. And I was like, you know what, I must have some more. I must be able to build these. Now, 2 months ago, I'd have been like, Ollie, I'm going to post you my tank. Will you wiki up for me and fucking post it back to me? Because when I get it back, I'll try it and I'll use it and whatever. Even the fact it's the first non-endless product I've used mech-wise for, got bought probably for 2 years.
I think that changed me, even down to buying gear. I think the mentality of everything changed in the way that we wasn't buying. Even us wasn't buying the gear we was buying, and it's not necessarily. It was just a change, and I think we allowed that change. And I spoke to Steve Hollins about it, and I was like, "Mate, do you not feel like we played a massive part in this change?" And he was like, "Mate, you've got a point." And I was like, "We did play a huge part in the change of it because we just seemed to accept what was happening, and we want sort of like, do you know what? We're gonna fucking carry on. We're gonna beast it out." You know, like I remember a time where we would sit and we'd be like, "There's a 6 month cycle. We know there's a 6 month cycle. There's 6 months of regulated, 6 months of mech. It'll come back round. It'll come back round. Don't worry about it." 2 years later, it hadn't come back round. And we were still sort of on the brink of still releasing new regulated devices. Pods then came in, had a big, well, Squonks came in then next, had a big hype. Pods came in, became the new thing. And then obviously you stepped back and said, do you know what? We need to fucking do something about it. And being realistic, I think we should have done something about it fucking 2 years ago. And
Yeah,
it's not on a business scale, I think.
But then the other thing is sometimes the time's just not right. Tom, me and you've spoke for 18 months about how do you revive that thing. And actually, 6-9 months ago, I said on this show live that I don't think it can be revived because the new people coming into it can get stuff out of the box to blow a cloud, to get the flavour, the sub-ohm, the regulated, the stock coils and all that malarkey. And that's because when I was doing this the first time round, as much as we were, and again, as a vendor in the UK, we was a much bigger percentage of vending because we were a big name and we were doing our thing and whatever. But actually, the business side of it was sort of at the background for me. I enjoyed doing what I was doing, and then at some point, the business grew to such a point where it has to be the forefront of what we're doing. And then, as a retailer, you get steered by what the shop's selling.
Yeah. Somebody said it. Somebody said it at the show, and I won't mention who said it, but somebody said to me and you, and the words were, "It's because you're true vapors, you real vapors," and it fucking hit home when he said that to me. I was like, actually, we are real vapors, and we do enjoy it, and we're not just solely out there for the fucking cash. The money side was, you've mentioned a few times, it was always the bonus because I was enjoying what I was doing. And when that person said that to me and you, I was like, he's fucking right. This industry was full of vapors, people who loved it,
It was
enjoyed
also full
tinkering.
of fucking hypocrites, and it's full of lots of things. And so I think that the fact now that people that were big players in the game as far as the community side of it, lots of them were still smoking and they were just doing this as a hobby. But because it was so taboo in the industry to smoke and to vape, it then becomes more and more pressure to the point where you go, actually, I'm just going to fucking take a backward step here and I'm going to smoke. And then lots of people have gone on to pods. My thoughts about this whole round now is that for the OGers and the old school vapors and stuff that sort of retired their mix, and that they are genuinely Nick salting or podding or fucking squonking, made the lung style or restricted lung kit or something that just isn't a fucking out and out RDA sub-ohm tube. From my point of view, it's still okay to do this as something that you enjoy. And for me, that's what's been quite prominent in the group is that the likes of Ollie Deeks, who when I spoke to him at Expo, he was going, my tube's retired, mate, and da 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 da. And within 2 weeks of that, he's inboxed me saying, "What the fuck have you done to me, you prick, man? I've bought 2 new mods in the last fucking week."
Now and I forgot he put up a fucking video, didn't he?
I don't know, because I was building that fucking
Yeah,
stupid
an
tank.
hour and a half before we went live, he put a fucking another video up.
So it's speaking to Steve Hollins, who's old school cloud chaser, to say, I've got my build kit out, I'm fucking about, I'm building, I'm doing, and I've had people inboxing me, what's the best build for this, the best work build for that. They were enjoyable times, and actually it was nice to sit down and help someone. Whether the pace of the industry growth just consumed people and got to the point where you're like, oh, fuck off, mate. If you don't know how to fucking build, you shouldn't be using a mech. We went through that negative stage, and there was a comment in the post in the group earlier from someone who had a post removed and he's all sore and he's like,
what was the post? Because I didn't see the post.
I didn't read the whole of the post. I started reading it and I was just like, you obviously don't need to be in there. And I just removed him from the group. But I read something about fucking firebacks and fucking and just sort of mocking what we're doing. On that basis, you really don't need to be in there.
Yeah.
Because actually, I don't care who it is. I mean, if Tasha done a live feed saying you're all a bunch of dickheads, what the fucking are you doing? Call it. I'd just remove her and say, like, you literally don't need to be in there. No, because it's like I said it to Pixar that I like the fact that people can be themselves, and no disrespect to Pixar, but her style of call out video is different to any other style of call out video I've ever seen, or a fireback or whatever. But the fact that she can do it in that group and not get mocked and not have the piss taken out of her and people fucking filling it with negative, stupid comments means a lot to me, because it means we've created something where people are comfortable to do what they do. If it's not their thing, they scroll past it. If it is their thing, they join in, they comment and everything else. You've got the likes of Ian, whose fucking call out videos are just fucking madder than a box of fucking frogs. And as much as Ian's videos are enjoyable, I know that there's going to be people going, "What the fucking hell's he been so hype on a live feed, on a video?"
Yeah.
Now, in other groups, they'll fucking comment on it saying, "Fucking dickhead." I like the fact that in there, it's just do what you've got to do, enjoy what you're doing, use what you want to use. We haven't banned clone from the group. You're not allowed to sell clone on the sales page, but we haven't banned clone from the group. We're not actively promoting clone in there, but we haven't said no, you can't use them. And if someone posts a sign a clone, I'm not having all that old well, fucking hell, you fucking got your pipe bomb, fucking do. You use what you use.
Yeah.
And that's it, simple as that. And on that basis, it just proved to me that in whatever we are today, 4 weeks in, 3 weeks, 4 weeks in from when the group started, to attract sort of over 1,400 people, and it's active as fuck. We went away Thursday night. I didn't really get involved in the group Thursday because I was fucking preparing to go out Friday morning, and I've tried to watch videos over the weekend and comment and like and whatever. I wanted to do a callback from Germany to everyone that was calling us out, and I just never got the time
We
to
even
do
got
it.
we even got the perfect spot to do it as well, didn't we? We even found the perfect spot to do it.
Yeah.
In that tunnel, that little
Oh
bridge.
yeah. Walking up to the shuttle bus.
Yeah.
So it's just nice, mate, and it's nice that people are taking the time to say, I need to dig my mech out. Even as silly as it sounds, just for Tasha to do that callback, he's like nice for me, not as her husband, just as starting that group. And actually, we were driving, and she's like, "What the fuck do I even say? How do I do it? I feel like a dick doing it." And it's just like, you ain't got to do a million. Like, when I done my first live feeds, I hated them. I wasn't comfortable doing them. And now we do this every week for 2 hours live, and I'll fucking drive to work and fucking chat shit driving to work live, and I'll do a callback video and I'll do a call out video, and it just becomes a thing, you know what I mean?
Like with Tasha's call out video, it set a lot of people off to do it. A lot of the girls came out of the woodwork and was like, you know what, fuck it, Tasha's done it. And it's not like sets a precedent, but it gives people the confidence because there is another lady doing it. It's like Tasha's giving that push for them to go, it's all right to do it. It's not fucking childish, or it's not, oh, you're doing a call out video. It makes people think, actually, it's not too bad.
Mate, look,
Tasha's doing it.
the bottom line is, right, I've seen people say, fucking cloud videos, it's fucking stupid. And they're going to watch a fucking Marvel film at 1 o'clock in the morning when it premieres, right? And I'm like, you're a grown man watching a fucking cartoon, you prick. Right? Or they've got fucking Star Trek ears on Christmas Day because they're all Trekkies. Whatever but whatever floats your boat, floats your boat. And if for the reason that I don't go to any Star Trek conventions because I think they're all weird fucking idiots, it's the same reason why I don't expect people to come into the group and mock the people in that group doing what they want to do. I would never stand outside a fucking Star Trek convention with a placard saying you bunch of fucking knobs, because it's just not my thing. If they're getting enjoyment out of it, that's up to them. I mean, I'm just saying most of them are probably on some sort of register, but that's just my own personal opinion. That's not the opinions of Endless Mod UK. That's just my own personal opinion. But it takes. My dad always used to say to me, "There's a seat for every arse," and at the end of the day, if you're happy doing something, you enjoy doing something, or you're not happy with what other people are doing, just fucking do your own shit somewhere else. And that's the whole point about the hashtags and the advertising. And I've seen the same fucking idiots posting other groups going, "Oh yeah, fucking that group." I've deleted probably more of my own posts than anyone else's. My own being people posting endless mods full of hashtags. I've tried to call out. In fact, I did call out all the manufacturers in one call out video so everyone can get involved, regardless of what anyone thinks. This group, and I've said it to everyone I've bumped into, this group isn't about endless mods. It's not about fucking build and war. It's not about the juice. It's not about anything. It's about people just getting together. I know, as a businessman, that naturally we will see some sales increases, but leave it to people's devices to decide where they want to go, what they want to use. You don't have to fucking thrust shit down people's throats. They know who's making mods. They know what's available. They know where to get it from.
Well, I mentioned this to you in Germany. I said, and we were on about it. We were speaking to somebody, and I said to you, "How many times have you actually used an Anasmonic group?" And we found out it's about once or twice, because you've been using other people's devices because you've enjoyed using them. It's not about thrusting your product down somebody's throat.
Yeah, I mean, mate, I've got enough endless mods to use a different endless mod every fucking night for the next fucking 6 months, and I only use endless mods. And I've said to a few people when mech addiction was still big, but the industry wasn't as buoyant, I weren't using other people's mods because I didn't have them.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? I only started using endless products because actually they'd done what I needed it to do.
Yeah.
The days of me having a dick waving competition of fucking waving £1,000 scoundrel about were done. So it weren't just because I was only using endless to promote endless. It was because I only had endless mods to use. And actually, when I used them, I enjoyed them. And right up until 2016, we dropped the Slam 'em. I used to even.
You want to slam them on everything?
I've used it. I've genuinely used it. Before that, I'd have a mod father or something. And actually, as much as I like the look of a mod father, I don't like the airflow of a mod father. I like the look of a goon, but I don't like the deck.
I remember using the mod father on the fucking, was it the brown Cerakote?
I've still got I've got the stainless mod father. I've got black. I've got a few mod fathers, but I've got a lot of captains because I actually prefer the captains with an 810 drip tip on it. But yeah, I mean, the Slam 'em and the V2S deck was the first time I was happy 100% with our RDA. And on that basis, I didn't need to chase anything then. I just put my build in it. I used it. I could adjust my air where I needed it to be. It looked nice on the mod. It worked. It was cheap. I was happy with it. So that was why. And now I've got the bug again and I've cleaned my shit up. And mate, literally, I went through them. I haven't even been through all the cupboards in the house. I know there's still mods lurking in this house somewhere.
Oh, definitely. We found some the other day when I came.
Now he's housing probably 15, 16 devices. Where I've took them out, cleaned them, built them, used them, and I've put them up there because I've cleaned them, so I didn't want to put them back into the dirty box. And I need to work my way through and dig all my shit out. And then I'm going to order some flight cases, like what you've got for the you bought
the
for the
flight case. You want on the wall, and you want them on little shelves in the wall on the wall in a
No,
frame.
I mean, I
Sorry,
want. No, I mean, I want to dig out all the endless stuff. We've got something from everything right from the very start, and I want to do an endless museum in some sort of cabinet that we can take to shows and show our progression and have a timeline of from 2015 right the way up until the dirtier drop in 2019 and whatever else the rest of this year brings, and add to that, because I found the old 4-post. It was the very first deck that we bought out, which was like a 4-post, so twin positive outside neutrals. And it was I've definitely got number one here because I've still got all the 001s in everything. Then we've done
Apart from the clean.
no, well, I've still got apart from the 001 clean, I've got every other 001. I think the only ones I've ever sold that were sort of more exclusive, if that's the right word, was like the prototypes or the triple O's that were mine. But even when I had a triple O, I've always kept the 001 as well. Or Tash has had the 001. But we've certainly got here a V1 sleeve mod. We've got a V2 sleeve mod. We've got definitely, I found the 001 and the 002 purple cleaners in the upstairs the other day. So we've got one of everything that we've ever made. We've definitely got a 4-post deck because we've got the number 82, which was Tash's. We both had 2 kits out the first run. So I had number 1 and number 76, which was my birth year. Tasha had number 2 and 82, which was hers. So I've got the number 82 deck that's never been used. And just put something together, like sort of November 2015, and then we dropped the clean in the May of 2016. We dropped the Velocity deck. Just before that, we dropped. So first up, we had the V1 with the V1 cap, and we had the 4-post. Then I bought out the Velocity deck straight after. Then we bought out the Slam, which was just a fixed cap. Then we bought out the Clean Mod and the Hourglass. Weeks after Expo, the V2 come with the V2S deck and the V2 cap. Then weeks after that, the cleaner come, which was the stackable version, which had the V2S because all of them come silver plated.
Yeah. You did the V2S in copper at first, though, didn't you?
Well, it wasn't a V2S; it was a V2, and then the V2S,
yeah.
the S denoted the fact it was silver plated.
Yeah.
So, and then we bought out the Slam for 24, the 25. Then what did we do after that? Then we done the 2x2 deck. And the 2x2 22, 2x2 24. Then we've done the V2S 22. Then we bought out the glass caps. Then we bought out the Empress and the dirty.
Cleaner.
Yeah, well, the cleaner, we dropped the clean at the expo. Then we had the V2S and the cleaners dropped 3 or 4 weeks after. They couldn't get them done in time. So by the October expo, the clean probably done its full proper launch there. The V2S had already launched. The cleaner launched at the October show in 2016. 2017, we dropped the Empress. We dropped the Dirty. In 2018, we done the MA, the Emperor.
Yep.
Then we done the Dirty, I guess, is the next one after that.
Yeah.
So along the way, we've had 4-post deck, Velocity style deck, the V2, the V2S, 2x2 22, 2x2 24. We've done the V2S 22. Then
Which was the one with the 2? It was 2-post. Was that at the 20 mil? Fitting the.
Yeah, that's the V2S 22. So it's just like it's the same. It's single post, same size as a battle deck. So I mean, we've launched a huge amount of product really in a short period of time.
4 years, yeah.
So it's been good, man. It's been a mad journey, really. So on that basis, I was always happy with what the business was doing. For me, Germany's just opened my eyes that, one, there's a much bigger world out there as far as people that are meching, and two, there definitely is an opportunity to revive that vibe in the UK, because and I do believe it'll be viewed differently. I do believe that people will do it more as a hobby, as I've always done, always from right from the get go. I've never ever been sole mech use. And even when I was meching every single day, and I was building every day, and I was designing every day, and I was speaking to China every day, I still had my mate along on me. And I just feel like some of the people that were like out and out sub owners had this sort of unnecessary pressure put on them. That was all they used. That was all they could use. They weren't allowed to smoke. They weren't allowed to use fucking mouth to lung. And if they used anything different, are you even a sub owner, bro? And all that sort of bullshit. So I feel like there's an opportunity to bring it back just as a hobby, just as something that people enjoy doing, which is why we've been speaking to the expo about having the sort of the arena at the October Expo, and having the cloud comp and having a trick comp and prize money, and just going proper old school and getting people back there to go to that event, just to meet people, just to get involved, just to say hello to the bloke that they've done 6 call outs to and 6 firebacks to, but they've never met him.
Yep.
Within that group of people, whether it be an extra 200 people or 1,000 people or 2,000 people, some people will go off and spend. Some people will literally go there with their ticket and the price of some food and just go there just for a day out to meet people. Now, if they do that in May, in October, then it bodes well for the May event where they're going, oh, I can't wait for Expo. Because that's where we were. It was like the minute you'd finished an Expo, you're looking forward to the next one. But for us personally, and for the likes of, say, V-Juice and Evolution and all them people that were doing them back to back to back, by the time you finish one Expo, within 2 or 3 weeks, you're working on the next Expo. For me personally, it was about making sure we got something designed, protoed, and fucking produced in time for that next show.
Touch on what Daniel Littledsberg said. He said that the mech scene in the rest of the EU is massive, and then the next comment was, but saying that, mech, squonk, and mouth to lung all are as popular as each other. The biggest thing I saw in Germany was mech was used massively for mouth to lung. It wasn't just
and
low
mate, I mean,
building.
I have tried numerous mouth to lung setups on mech, just on the basis that we produce mech mods, and for me not to even have someone else's RT on a mech mod, I've always been a bit like, all right, you're doing my head in a. And then also, that's a nice looking. If we're going out, I'd happily take that out of me. I know the battery's going to last me for fucking ever.
Yeah, I think the whole style of it is.
I've never been able to get a build right, and actually, I never. Maybe because my sub own was so hobbyist, I was always extreme. So I used to run daily at 0.07. That was what my build was for a daily build. And then to start fucking about with single core, I was a bit like, nah. And then I weren't used to doing a fucking 9 or a 10 rack 2 mil fucking single core. So then you do a 3.5 mil fucking 22 gauge in the fucking tank, and then it's too harsh. And I was like, fuck this, I can't do it. Actually, Max had 9 identical setups. The only difference with Max's one is that the actual tube, the tube was about so much longer, and then the hybrid was recessed into the tube, so the tank actually sat inside to about there. You can't see that because it's not in screen. So
he got a thing, didn't he? He had a beauty ring.
It's not a beauty ring. Actually, the mod is longer, and the hybrid is recessed by about that much. So then you screw your tank in, and it just lowers your tank inside the actual length of the mod body. So actually, stood next to each other, the setups are an identical length. Right. It's just that it makes your tank look smaller and the mod look longer. I just preferred it like in that setup. So, but I had to go on Max and I was like, mate, that vape's fucking fire. But Scott Theakston had put a 1 ohm. I think he'd used 2840 as well, 980, 7 wrap or something, 2.5 mils coming out about 1 ohm.
Just send it to him.
Well, Ollie's, that's the spec of call that Ollie sent me.
It's mad because then, like, the mod awards worldwide, we've posted up tubes on fucking tanks, and I've not seen that in fucking ages, forever.
No, I used to love that whole lot. Oh my god, is that a fucking is that a tank on me? Boom, you're gonna fucking blow yourself up. What you on about? And obviously, on the first sleeve mod we ever done, you come with the fucking floating 510 hybrid if you wanted, top cap if you wanted to. So you could run a fucking Kangatech sub tank on it if you wanted to.
I was running that CCI tank on her.
Yeah.
And it was fucking. I was running it stacked as well. I used to fucking love that setup. I fucking give it away. Horrible cunt I am.
What number?
What number did I have? I don't know. I had a low one though. And I remember it now because you made. I remember the whole setup, man. I was so the review is still out there. If you want to go see it,
Yeah, I know. I've watched it. I watched it not long ago.
Search the review. The review is still out there. It's when you put the coils in the pack, and I remember you put in an authenticity card. And it was black and plastic, and it was mate. I honestly regret honestly regret giving that setup away because I messaged you. You remember me messaging you?
Yeah.
Saying I've given this setup away. Obviously, somebody else is going to use it. I was well pissed now that I fucking give that away. I bet it was low as well. I bet the cereal was well low, and it's probably chucked in somebody's drawer who doesn't fucking appreciate it.
Not mine. I don't know where that. I've got on that. I've got a single setup down here with a V2 on. It's got the 001 V2 button. I don't know where. Because I was using the brass one for ages. I might have even put the brass switch on. I can't remember. It's here somewhere though. And then I found the number 69 dirty mod in my car the other day in the center console.
No, the dirtier.
No, the dirty.
You've got 69 dirty and dirtier, haven't you?
Yeah.
Has to fucking be in it.
And I've got the 0000 dirty as well because it come from China yesterday.
Oh, did it? Fucking it. It's just that's just like nostalgia, proper nostalgia. It really is, and that's what gets me excited. You remember the days when it was like that? Well, currently it is them days. It really is. Getting messages about what's this build, what's that build. If I do this, what do I get? What does it home out at? Before, as we've said plenty of times, I'd have just said, fuck off, I'm not even answering it. If you don't know, you don't know. But now I'm actually quite excited when people message me, what am I doing this build? Because I want to know what they're building. I want to know what batteries they're using. It's just fucking madness. It is absolutely madness.
Fucking Gavin Blake. Next accident you have at work, I'll pin Tasha some dollar for the 69s. Huh?
You doesn't need to have your accident.
PayPal credit in it. Well, we're at 10 o'clock. We've got status of the week, and it wasn't a status. It was the fucking comment you put up in Mod Wars Worldwide, and I actually found it really funny. And it's here's a big box that should be used to throw your dolls and dummies in. Make it easier to find them on your way out, and a big fucking gap on box. And the reason I'm choosing that is because the group that was set up, literally of you having a conversation, is the fucking one of, if not the best group right now. And it's fucking amazing. I love seeing it. As I said, we didn't really get an eye on it at Expo while I was out in Germany. And to come back until it be same atmosphere, still buzzing, people doing call outs, people doing videos. That's how it fucking should be. It is that simple. 100% that's how it should be. So if you haven't got friends that aren't in Mod Wars Worldwide, get them added. Get the fucking community going back up. Get the excitement there. If you've got somebody who hasn't got a clue about building or anything like that, fucking put it in the group. Get them asking questions. That's what the group's there for. It's not just about having a laugh. It's also educational as well. So just fucking, it is what it is. I really, really, really am enjoying it. And I've got the buzz back for it. And then I used to go, this is what I used to do, Paul, and I used to go, fishing gear, vape gear, fishing gear, vape gear. And for the last 4 to 6 weeks now. It's all about vape gear.
Very good, Thomas.
Fucking really, really excited me. So it should get everybody else excited. If it can get me fucking excited, it can get everybody else fucking excited. And let's fucking do this how it fucking should be properly. And let's not let this fucking side of the industry get to the whereby like it was before.
Absolutely.
So on that note, we're out of here. We'll see you next week, same time. We may not do a show in 2 weeks' time because we might be in fucking Berlin. Fingers crossed, we're in Berlin. And we'll see you all then. Paul, if you want to sign us out.
Yep, peace. Thank you everyone for joining tonight. Thank you everyone for getting active on the group. Keep calling out, keep firing back and doing your thing and keep it mecky. Peace.
Night all.